There we go. That's Simon and Garfunkel, and they're down by the schoolyard with Julio and all that good stuff. And that was a song that was requested on the WhatsApp. That WhatsApp number 072-447-8044. It was requested by Roger. And Roger, we still got another one that we will play for you after we have spoken to this lovely lady whose name is Getanya McClean. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's your name. Okay. So now everybody can hear you now. You're on.
Okay.
You're on.
Okay, cool.
Okay. This is your time. This is your time. All right. And this lady has, she owns an organization that is called GForce Body and Mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us.
Okay. So GForce Body and Mind is mainly about learning about your body and exercising within your own range for your body. And I mainly use Pilates as my method of exercise, but I have got a history of personal training and then specializing in spinal cord injury or disabilities of a range. I was born with structural deformities on my right side of my body. So I had to learn about the body from a very young age to understand why I was different and how I could strengthen my body to work in a so-called normal bracket in life. So that has led me down the path of anatomy and kinesiology and really having such a passion on helping people to live the best life that they can in whatever mobility and strength that they can get, I guess. Yeah, that's the
right. So all of this started because of personal experience, because you were born with, what did you call it? A
structural deformities.
What?
Structural deformalities. So my bones on my right side of my body are different to the bones on my left side of the body. They just face different directions.
They what? They face different. Okay. So are we allowed to say deformalities on like radio? I mean, aren't we supposed to be using more politically correct terms? Like, I don't know. Isn't there one?
I have no idea. I've always used by myself.
All right. So
my structure is different.
Your structure is you're differently abled or something. I don't know. Anyway, no, that's fine. The bottom line here, though, is that you have developed around all of this personal need, you've developed a way of instructing people to make their bodies a lot stronger and all of this. Now, how do you go about that?
So I've got a studio in Deep River that is a Pilates studio with equipment that I do see people at for more structured strength building. And then the home visits that I do is more one-on-one or semi-private, so two people together. And that is very isolated onto the uniqueness of their bodies, working with their range of movement and everyone has different muscle development from the way we live and the activities that we do. And those causes imbalances between the body, the front and the back, or the right and left. Being right and left-handed, our muscles develop differently. So the Pilates training is there to be more balancing in the structure and the strength and mobility of a person's mobility. So I basically teach the people about their bodies and how to adjust the activities they do in their lifestyle to be more beneficial to their own body and strength. So if there's something, for example, setting up your computer so that your neck is at the correct alignment, making sure that your feet are touching the floor when you're sitting at your desk and you don't sit all twisted and you're then constantly in a rotational spine, which will cause shortening on the one side and lengthening on the other side of the muscles. So working within the people's lifestyles, I try balance them as well as we can and then strengthen them so that they can function and live a most active lifestyle that they like.
Amazing stuff, really amazing stuff. Now, I come to you. What is your starting point? I walk into you, I'm 61 years old, my body is all over the place because of years of bad habits. What's the starting point, Getanya? I mean, do we sit down and we do a brief? How does it work? I mean, for somebody who's never done this before, what happens?
So I will do a full posture analysis and muscle testing with you. So it's quite a hands-on thing. So I will run my finger down the spine, see how the spine is naturally structured, checking height of shoulders and your pelvis, the way your feet roll in or out, or if you stand with an arch back. And we do a full posture analysis and then work with that on the range of movements, testing your strength, testing your mobility in the different joints. And from that, we will develop a program working on certain issues, either if it's stretching on certain parts or if it's strengthening certain parts, or just teaching you how to function in the activities that you do. So some people pick up boxes every day in their job, but they just have never been taught actually how to safely pick up heavy boxes. So we'll build up the strength to work in the person's lifestyle so that when they do those type of activities in their everyday existence, their bodies are strong enough to hold their correct posture and they know how to work with their body. If they've got a scoliosis, which is a skew spine, then there's certain muscles that we need to lengthen because the spine is literally being pulled skew by the muscles being contracted. Depending on their age, and severity, depending on if we can give a little bit of ease of pain and ease of mobility, but teaching them how to do things that they don't aggravate into that posture that they do have.
Okay, so that's like in a one-on-one scenario. That's like you and me.
Yeah.
And what happens in a sort of class environment? Is there more sort of generic sort of program that you use in a class situation?
So I would always do a posture analysis and muscle testing before I send anyone into a class, because I need to know what your body is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't tell me that you've got a back issue and I put you in a class and we do stuff that might aggravate your back, then there's going to be issues and you're going to walk out in pain.
Yeah.
So I always do that full posture analysis first, and then from there we'll go, okay, let's put you into this type of class or this level of class. So I've got some senior classes, I've got some classes that are specifically lower back issue and knee kind of conditioning. I've got some beginners foundation classes, I've got intermediate, and I've got a beginners plus class. So there's quite a variety within my timetable that we can put people into. Working with the lockdown, I've actually had to put all of my classes online,
Mm-hmm.
which has opened up a freedom of having more people in the class, because obviously the studios do have limited space. And then that, whatever the title or that level of the class, we work within that range. So for example, the people that have knee and back issues, there's certain exercises that we have to do to strengthen that area, but there's also exercises that we take away completely from the repertoire to aid them to work within their own limitations.
Okay, and online, how many people can you do online at any one point?
Well, Zoom has a limit of 100, but personally, I would limit myself to about 10, because I need to check each video and make sure that people are doing them correctly. So what I do is I demonstrate the exercise, and then I constantly talk them through as they continue, and then I can check the videos on Zoom and check that they are doing it correctly. If I see that there's adjustments that need to be taken, then I will call that person out and just be like, for example, I'm seeing you now, go, Richard, please just drop your right shoulder as you do that. If I know that you've got a lower back, I can mention, okay, cool, when you lift your legs, really focus on that lower tummy connection so that your lower back doesn't arch. So there is still that personal cueing, but it does mean that we are online and having that distance.
The online thing has it worked for you during the lockdown? Have you found it beneficial?
It has. I have quite a few of the elderly clients, and I've got one client that has just finished chemo. So their immune system are not as great. So I wouldn't have been able to see them, where with the lockdown, we can carry on the training, carry on their conditioning and strengthening. The one-on-ones have worked really, really well. The group classes are a little bit more tricky because of people being at home. They've got the kids interacting and around them, and also their timetables aren't necessarily the same as what they were when they were at work. So I have had to adjust the way I'm teaching, because I am a very hands-on teacher. So it took me a little while to get more of verbal cueing so that they can understand where I'm going from, versus me walking around the class and tapping the shoulders so they know that that needs to be activated, or correcting the posture alignment in the pelvis. And so it's taken a little bit of getting used to, but I've actually really enjoyed it.
Well, look, there is really not, there's no substitute really for personal interaction. I mean, we're finding that here at the radio station as well. I'd much prefer to have you in the chair opposite me speaking, but we've got to do it this way because of the regulations and the way they are. But it's nice to know that you've been able to adapt your business. Now, you kind of move, are you kind of new to the Valley, are you?
Yes, we moved.
Okay, just explain that.
We moved December last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I've reached out to a few of the Pilates studios to start teaching classes there. But obviously with the lockdown, everyone's kind of shut down on new development and studio, live studio work. So I really would love to build up a community within the Valley, and basically I comfortably work in a 10K radius. So that's like Notok and Komiki and Fishhook and all of that. If I go over the mountain, I do still have clients that side of the world, but it is just that I adjust the cost for fuel going over the mountain. But I really want to start building the community and getting the community as active and healthy as possible.
I think it's awesome. Now, this so far we've spoken about the GForce body. We haven't said too much about the mind a bit. Tell us about the mind a bit.
So Pilates is a very mind-body connection. So when you work, it's not just about the movement that you're doing. It's also about the mind connection and the breath connection within the movement. So you learn a lot about yourself, and for a lot of people, there's a lot of thought process. So for the basic breathing, for example, you breathe sideways instead of into the front of the chest. It's lateral breathing. So before you do any movement, you've got to think rib cage, connecting the core, belly button connecting towards the spine, and then finding your pelvic floor as all the muscles around the pelvis stabilize the pelvis. So before you've even lifted your arms anywhere, you're having to think about that. So there's a lot of thought process that goes into it before you do the exercises. And that breath becomes so crucial in the more advanced exercises, because as you exhale, you connect into that core support, and that gives you the strength and the power to do the more advanced exercises in a safe manner.
Okay, now I heard that I was reading some of the material that you sent to us, and you do sort of, is it sort of meditation kind of things, music as well?
Yeah.
Tell us about
I've always been attuned to crystals growing up. And my base is also dance, so music has always been something I've really enjoyed doing, and as well as with regard to movement. And essential oils or engaging the other senses are quite important for me in my own life. And I found that a lot of people see a full benefit in incorporating the more spiritual or emotional aspect and chakra aspect into the Pilates and working. So I do offer that in a private capacity to work within their own environment. And then I've got one class on Thursdays at 9 that I incorporate that into the class. So each person at their house at the moment has a crystal that they are tuned to, or that is speaking to them that that's what they need to work with. And then I work with the chakra systems, welcoming in that energy from those stones into the different chakra systems as we work through the Pilates movements and open up the different energy fields, and working into it's a calmer and slower class because there's a lot more energetical thought process and feel that goes into it.
Okay, so let me not confuse the issue here. Okay,
No.
You're talking, look, the other people that are listening, and they're welcome to comment on our WhatsApp, 072 Me, crystals, that's just another rock, okay, as far as I'm concerned. And lose them, don't use them, whatever. They don't, none of that applies. I don't need to buy into that crystal thing in order to be in one of your classes. That's what I want to clarify.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So if there's somebody out there who thinks, you know, crystals, poppycock, alignment of chakras, you know, that's not my buzz. They don't have to buy into that. That's an added.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yes,
I just wanted to clarify
there's only
that.
one class that is specific to that. And that was done because of the people that are in the class are attuned to that.
Okay.
So it was conversation that we've been having in the class that I've known them that they're all into that. And when we went online, it was, well, let's add a variety to it. Let's bring in the meditation and the thought process for using the energies of the crystals at their homes. So that's literally since we've been in lockdown, that's the people have asked for that. So I was quite happy to bring it in, but that's not my core business. My core business is the Pilates, teaching people about their bodies and strengthening them so that they can live a healthy, active lifestyle.
I'm not knocking it, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. I just want people to understand that you don't have to be a crystal person, as it were.
Not at all.
To do what it is that you do. That's all. Because the minute a crystal starts talking to me, I'm going to a head doctor. Understand?
It's not for everyone, but that class specifically asked for it. So
we've got crystals lying here in the bathroom.
Okay.
If I go in the bathroom and a crystal starts talking to me, trust me, I'm out of here looking for a head doctor, but that's just me. All right. Where do people get hold of you?
So GForceBodyandMind.co.za is my website. I do have a Facebook page also under the same title, and my Instagram handle is the same. I am easier to get hold of on WhatsApp, so 071 1737 843 than I am with email, but my email is info@gforcebodymind.co.za. So any of those, 071?
Yeah, 071?
That's what?
Yeah.
17 37 843.
843, just so that people get that. Anybody wanted to write it down. Okay, so WhatsApp, email, they can go along to your Facebook page. Your Facebook page is the one that says confidence is the best outfit. Rock it, own it. Is that yours?
No.
Not. No, it is yours.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, it is yours. Anyway,
okay.
Very pretty. All right, now it is your Facebook page.
Okay.
Because it says your name here. It says,
okay, cool.
Yes, it says you're passionate about, and it goes on. Okay, so there we go. That you own it, rock it. Check it out. You'll see for yourself. All right. Anything else that you want to leave people with before we say cheerio?
I think it's more of living your dreams and being able to live the lifestyle that you want to live and learn your bodies, learn how your body structure works and how to strengthen it so you can live your best lifestyle. That's pretty much my motto.
All right, be your best self. This is a lady who, you see, I like people who've got a personal thing going on. This is somebody who's used this treatment and this way of, what's the right word I'm looking for, dealing with the body for your own personal reasons. This has worked for you, and there's no better,
it has.
There's no better testament than something that has worked for you. You're the living example. So folks, I'm going to ask you to give her a shot. She's new to the Valley. Hook up with her. We are running a small campaign for her here on Zone Radio, so you can hear her contact details and all that. And go and check it out. The worst thing you can do is get to know somebody new, and I think that that's a good thing. So thank you for your time this afternoon. And
thank you.
I'm amazed at that you say your bones facing the wrong direction, and yet you look very, very healthy. I looked at the photograph of you sitting on the table here on your, is it on your website? Might be on your website. And you look
Yeah,
like,
it's a reformer.
you look like, what is it called?
A reformer.
A reformer.
It's one of the Pilates equipments.
Oh, it looks like a torture chamber to me, but anyway. And it's wonderful that this has worked for you, and that you're able to share that with other people. And there is no better testament of a product or service when somebody themselves has benefited from it. So I hope you go from strength to strength. I hope that when the lockdown opens up, you're going to be able to grow your business. And well done on using the technology to do that up until now. And let's hope that things go forward in leaps and bounds for you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your time this afternoon.